All right, so Ma, let's talk about this. Let's get right into it. Octavia Spencer is phenomenal. I think this is probably the first time, or probably the only time that she's been a leading lady in a movie. She's usually always a supporting a supporting role.
This is her first one.
Yeah, this is her first lead, and honestly, she did phenomenal. I think that she's such a great actress, and like this, she felt so comfortable in this role. Like that's what it seemed like, and it seemed like she was having a lot of fun with it. The movie is, I remember mentioning, it's a movie that's, it's a genre that we all enjoy, but it's very hit and miss. We're very weary of it when we go in, and it's unlikely that, we come out of the movie saying that it hit. And I feel like this movie hit for all the right reasons. I don't think that the promotional material, like the trailers and stuff, execute that and let the audience know how good this movie is. But it definitely is a movie that everybody needs to see. So let's talk about it.
So on your point, Octavia Spencer is amazing, but I also think they cast it really well. Besides her, so having Allison Janney as the vet, even though her role was so small, she added that comedic touch to it, and she did perfect. Like, I didn't think it was corny. I thought it fit perfectly.
Like it wasn't forced at all.
It wasn't forced
so
at
natural,
all. Yeah, and it was like, so she was good. Luke Evans as the father, having him be like the jock in high school, and then being like that adult, like it was cast perfectly for that. And then Juliette Lewis being the mother of the main girl. I love them all, and they did amazing in this movie. It was surprising. This movie was very surprising to me. I think I came in not expecting much. So that, like, I liked it, but I came out of it like really, really liking it. Like it was so, she was so good. Would you say you love it? I don't love it. It's just a really, really good movie. It's Octavia Spencer makes the movie for me, for sure, because she's so creepy in it, and it's like you see her, and she can play any character. Like you've seen her in so many different movies. You've seen her Hidden Figures in Help, The Help, and then even the one that Guillermo del Toro did.
She was also in Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, she was.
She was.
Yeah. She's so good. She's so good. She makes the movie for me. And I think if she wasn't in this movie, I wouldn't have liked it as much.
She was definitely the star of the movie.
100%. I agree with that point.
What I really liked about the movie is the fact that it had so many twists and turns that you had no idea it was going to go that direction. There were so many moments where I was like thrown off guard. I was like, oh shit, it's going there. You know what I mean? Like there's so many elements of it that were surprising, and I love that, because nowadays a movie of this genre can be very predictable. You know, you can see a lot of things coming 10 steps ahead of time, and so I really like the fact that I was in for a surprise every single time it did take a twist or a turn. I also think that for something like this that's so, the idea of having this older lady interacting with these younger kids, it was creepy, yet I was so invested. And I don't know if that makes me a twisted person, but the way that they made you so hooked, and like you wanted to,
I thought it was weird.
I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like and I think I owe it all to her, man. She did a great job of being this trustworthy yet not so trustworthy character. And you can understand why the kids want to hang out with her. You can understand why she wants to hang out with the kids. Just overall, the writing, the character development, the ending. A little skeptical, but overall, just to me, the best thrill movie I've seen since Don't Breathe. Like I thought.
I was gonna say that. So good. With that point, it's just like we love these movies that are suspense thrillers and along the lines of the horror genre, and we never know what to expect going in, and we always expect on the low end, and it's very rare that we get a movie that takes us like to a whole nother level of that you never thought that the genre can go there. And they do that, and they did that with Don't Breathe, and I agree with you that this was the best one that I've seen since. It's not Don't Breathe, but it can be put in that same category
100%,
with how different it was, the feeling that you got when you walked out of it, because you're going in there thinking one thing, and then as you said, it takes a turn, and you're like, whoa, and I'm like, oh, they're not gonna do that, and then boom, they did it, and then to the point where I'm just like, holy shit, I'm like, okay, do it. And then I'm seeing them do it. And I'm like, don't do it because I feel like it's too much. Like they are pushing the envelope and they're pushing it hard. I loved it.
They were unafraid to step out of the boundaries and go a little bit farther than you would expect.
Yeah.
Them to.
Well, yeah, that's what I found.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, they're not going to go there. They're not going to show that.
And you're like, show it because you want to see it.
Yeah,
you want to see it, but then you're like, hold on, wait, don't show me, don't.
I still turned around because it's like, no, they actually showed that, and I can't watch that.
I think why I'm also pleasantly surprised is because I didn't know anything going into it. Didn't look at the trailer, didn't look up the movie or anything like that. I went to it thinking, okay, it's a suspense movie. Let's see how it does, and it just impressed me on so many levels.
She really has a hold on the film. She carries the entire film, and every time that she wasn't on screen, I wanted her back.
Yeah.
So this brings me to the younger cast, right? The younger cast. I feel like the older people in this movie were a lot stronger. I felt like their story was a lot better than these younger people. I feel like the younger people, although I love the characters, I love the essence of what the characters are, like the classic, she's the hot girl who's, loud and sassy, and then you got the new girl who's timid, and you got the jock, and then you got the black guy, and you got the nerdy guy, you know what I mean? Like, you have your classic bunch, but there's nothing to them, right? They're just used as a device to further Octavia Spencer's character.
That, and I also think, like, the storyline, too, like, with the parents, like, because they were kind of, like, it passes down to the kids, right? Because the kids are there, but it's like because of their parents, it's like you see a reflection of
it's
that.
It's a mirror of them.
Yeah, it is a mirror of them.
It's a mirror of them, but the thing that they did so well is that you had the mirror, so you had the adults and you had the kids, and she was the connection. So she was in the adult when they were kids in that storyline. She was the outcast, and then in this movie, with the younger kids, she was still the outcast. It still felt that same way. So they transitioned that really well.
Do you think that gives them a pass for not developing the kids so much? Because we saw a lot of the kids. We saw a lot of them, but we didn't really know. We didn't know much about them.
I think they were developed with what they should be. Like, I don't think
so you think that they were perfectly placed?
Yeah.
Because I felt like we spent a lot of time with the kids where we didn't know who the kids were. To your point, we got what they meant to the film through their parents. Not necessarily them. So I don't think, like, it's weird because it's like usually if you're spending so much time with these characters, the film is technically supposed to be about them, but the film is not about them at all. They're just used, basically. And I thought that they did it really well.
Yeah, they did that really well.
Are there any bad things? Because we keep talking about the good things. Is there anything you guys thought that wasn't so good?
Do you want to go or you want to?
No, go ahead.
So the thing, like, it wasn't bad. It's just the ending. I thought they could have done a little bit more with the ending. Like, I wasn't satisfied with how it ended.
Me too.
Just because there were so many twists and turns in the movie, I was like, okay, there's going to be one final twist and turn. And then it's like, no, the movie ends. And you're like, aw. So you kind of...
Like, you wanted more.
Yeah, I wanted more.
I agree. I feel like that last 15 minutes or so, it's like they took you on this journey where it was like, you see how twisted Ma is, right? Taking pictures and stuff like that. So it's just like when it ends, you're expecting her, because she's been so twisted this entire movie, you're expecting, again, like what you guys said, that one last twist, that one last push the envelope a little bit more, make it fall off the table. You know what I mean? And they didn't
it was
really
still
give
a
it
twisted ending.
It was still, but it's just like, for her character to be so strong and then just to give up like that, it was just like, oh.
It's not, it wasn't really, it's
wasn't
more of a
for her character.
it wasn't fitting for the character, it wasn't fitting for
I think I could disagree. I could see why they chose to end it the way they did. I just wish there was more of a wow factor to it. That's all.
I feel like they didn't know how to end it. Yeah. Because where do you go if, like, where do you go? How do you move on off screen with the characters? So you end it the way that you end it. And I feel like, I don't know if it's a cop-out ending, but I do feel like they just didn't put too much thought into it.
I'm just glad that this movie, I just hope there's a sequel. That's all. Because this movie was so good. I want to see more. I want to see more of it. Whether it's like a sequel that has nothing to do with the first one and it's just like the same concept. But I want to see more of this style of movie. We need more thriller movies that are actually good. Yeah. That actually have
a story. I think you just mean good movies.
Good movies with this genre.
Yeah.
And may I add, and I have to add, and I know, like, on other reviews, I may have ripped on like, you know, Us and Get Out and stuff like that. But black people in horror movies is not normal. It's not normal. And I love that they're starting to give us these movies where they're putting us in these genres that we're not normally in. Because usually back in the day, you know, put us in, we're dead in the first 15. Now we're leading these movies. And I think that is twisted because you don't normally see like, and a reference to Scream 2, where when they were talking about a certain killer, the black girl being a killer, they're like, you know, killers are usually predominantly white males, right? Now we're getting Octavia Spencer in, you know, a leading role who's psychotic. We don't normally see that, right? So I thought that that was really interesting, and they should continue to do that. And it was also like when they had that movie, No Good Deed with Good Deeds or whatever with Taraji P. Henson and Idris Elba. So it's like we're starting to get a new era of these type of movies that I want them to continue.
Yeah, keep it coming.
So keep it coming. Let's see some more of those, and you know, yeah. So we're gonna end this off. Let's go to the verdict. I'm gonna start with Anthony this time. What are you giving this movie out of 10?
I love this movie. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Nice.
Love the movie.
I give it an 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 just because of the ending. If y'all didn't mess with the ending,
I would have given it.
a
I would have given it a higher grade, but still. Yeah.
All right, that will do it for this episode of Cinema Circle. Anthony.
If you guys want to check out more content from us, you can follow us on Instagram at cinema_circle. And if you want to contact us through email, it's cinemacircle1@gmail.com.
From everyone here at Cinema Circle, I want you guys to stay blessed and always keep it 100.